All right, let's go to the SEC. This is Clint's territory here.
Come on, Doug.
Florida hosting Kentucky, back-to-back ranked games in the swamp to start the season for the Gators. Anthony Richardson is getting all of the love from everybody in the world right now, especially us. If you've watched us this week, I think we've spent probably 25% of every single show talking about how good Anthony Richardson was, if he's a Heisman contender, if he can lead this team to titles, yes, with an S. All of that has been said this week. Well, they're playing a Kentucky team with a quarterback that everybody should be pretty high on too, in Will Levis. And he got a lot of preseason love, but this is a high-octane matchup between two very good football players and two teams that I think are pretty damn good teams as well. Big implications in the SEC East. Clint, let's go to you first. This is your homeland, you could say. Do you worry at all for Florida going into this game? Is this a potential letdown spot coming off the high emotional last-second victory against Utah?
Hell yeah. As long as Mark Stoops is coaching the University of Kentucky, they got a chance to win ball games. I'm a firm believer in Mark Stoops. What he's done at Kentucky is nothing to turn your cap up at. I mean, your nose up at. He is a coach that you can take it to the bank at this point in time. They're going to be as good a football team as anybody in the country. Now, there's going to be guys that are more talented, but when you talk about a team, when you talk about a group working together, when you talk about a coach that gets the most out of the recruits that he pulls in from a development standpoint, maturity standpoint, they are going to be a hard beat. Very rarely are they going to beat themselves. And some teams, that's not going to be enough. We're going to have conversations, and I'm like, no, it's not even going to. That's not going to be enough. They don't have the dudes. They don't have a chance. Florida ain't one of them. Florida's got the big boy taking snaps, no doubt about it. But as long as Kentucky's coached by Mark Stoops, I believe that they have the ability to go in, overcome the odds of playing a night game at Florida and coming out victorious, coming out late in the fourth quarter, kicking a field goal to win that thing. And I don't think it has anything to do with what you said, though, G-Dub. If I'm being honest, I don't think it has anything to do with Florida coming off that big win. I don't want to say that, and then if they end up losing, go, well, that's why they lost. No, if they lose that ball game, it's because Mark Stoops and them boys went in there and whooped that ass. It's that simple. So yeah, it has a chance to be a letdown. It has a chance to be an upset. Kentucky could very easily win this ball game.
Yeah, I'll jump on that too. I think it's funny when you look at it from a bigger picture. I think Billy Napier's kind of trying to get to what and where Mark Stoops got, right? Because at the end of the day, Florida traditionally, historically, has been a powerhouse in the SEC, and as of late, it really hasn't been the case. They've shown spurts, but it's those spurts of like flash of gold and then right back to the bottom of the barrel. It's been really frustrating to watch because, just as a college football fan, like you want Florida to be good. But I got a little bit of a different vibe with Billy Napier. I know it's a very, 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 very small sample size, but last year, 2 years ago, same talent on that Florida team. I don't even think it's a damn ball game against Utah. And the way that they were able to scratch and claw and get it done, I think that's a great thing. So I think it's kind of a tale of two programs. One that got through the hard times, and that's a ton of credit to Mark Stoops. Like Clint was saying, it's been damn near incredible. You got a great quarterback running the show down there, doing it at a very efficient clip. Last week, I think he threw for like 300 yards, really cool, clean game. And then you have Billy Napier, who did it on a really, really big stage week one. But now you got to start stacking them, and you got to start showing it, and you got to start building that resume. So for Florida, I think that's kind of going to be the focus. I think they're kind of on the same thought process as Clint. Like, this can't be a letdown game. We did it. We know we can do it. Now we need to do it week in, week out. And ultimately, to be even a thought process in the SEC, that's what you got to do. Teams like Arkansas, teams like Kentucky have shown that they can do that, and that's going to be good for the overall health of the conference. So that's the way I'm looking at it. I think it's kind of like big picture, two different programs. I'm really curious to see how Florida attacks this opportunity, and I know damn well Mark Stoops is going to come in prepared. So it's gonna be a damn barn burner. I'm excited.
Heck, I got the same vibe from Billy Napier, man.
Yeah,
I mean, it just seems like it just seems like there's something special in the air. I mean, the way that Anthony Richardson played last week, it wasn't just, I mean, he threw for 160 something yards, and so nobody's even talking about that. But he made 2 or 3 big time throws that,
oh my gosh,
you just it ain't supposed to be that easy. It's
Yeah.
not supposed to. The ball ain't supposed to come off of a human being's hand that way. It looks like he was shooting it out of a damn ball machine.
Yep.
And there was just a cool, calm, poised, prepared, I mean, just vibe with that team that it's hard to think that dude couldn't take Emory Jones' spot last year in Dan Mullen's offense. That dude threw 6 touchdowns and 5 interceptions last year. How am I watching the same dude push up in the pocket, stand tall, and make a decision to rip it or run it? You know, I mean,
Yeah. It's almost like a maturity that happened like insanely fast behind the scenes, like a calm, cool, collected, poise that like came out of nowhere.
Yes.
And the only direction you can point that to, and you and I both know it, you got a talented kid that hasn't been playing consistently. At the end of the day, coaches who oftentimes don't take the credit or take the blame for that, without anyone saying it, I'm giving Billy Napier a ton of credit for that,
100%.
because you're putting your players in the best situation to be successful. They're going to play their ass off for you if you do that. And it just showed in week 1. And I think that that's just something Florida's been missing. They've been there before, even though they haven't. It's almost like they have. And that's the vibe I got watching them. So it's going to be cool seeing how they develop this year.
Talk that shit, Hag. Talk that shit, Hag. Come on.
All right, I'm going to be this guy, and I'm fully prepared for both of you to jump right in and tell me I am a complete idiot for this, but I feel obligated to do it. Are we sure we don't need to see it one more week from Richardson before we go all the way there? Because I hosted a show, this very show, Monday night, where his name was being thrown directly into the C.J. Stroud, the Bryce Young, the Caleb Williams conversation as far as he is that tier of quarterback. Like you said, Clint, he threw for 160-something yards. That's fine, but he made the plays. I know that. I watched that. I had a ticket on Florida Moneyline Live. Believe me, I was locked in for that, okay? But are we sure? Because for all the reasons we said, and we pointed last year, he couldn't beat out the guy. Yes, that's on Mullen. We get that. But are we sure we might not be taking the crown and putting it on somebody's head just a little bit too early? Don't we need to see it one more week, or am I nuts?
Clint? Because I got something to fire away on this too. But
I mean, look, do I need to see it one more week? Hell yeah, G. I mean, what the hell you think? Yeah, I need to see it one more. Hell, I need to see it for about 12 more weeks, if I'm being honest. And I don't even give a damn if Florida wins 10 ball games or not. I'm just talking about the product of the quarterback. And I'm just, look, when it comes to putting guys in the same tier with the CJ Strouds and the Bryce Young, there's got to be some kind of elite ability, dynamic ability, whether it's his feet or his arm or a combination of the two. There's got to be something there that is going to drive this guy to a potential Heisman or drive this guy to a potential number 1 overall pick. And I'm just here to tell you, the guy that I watched play against the number 7 team in the country in pressure-packed situations, the quarterback product that I watched, that guy, I'm buying that right there before I buy CJ Stroud today. I'm buying it right now.
Wow.
I'm just telling you that's how talented I think the dude is. That's how gifted I think he is. That's the advantage that I think he gives you. And he's definitely in the conversation as I see it.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to take it where at the end of the day, you roll Anthony Richardson, any of the guys that you just named on a high school football field anywhere in this country and just let them throw footballs and run around and do things. There ain't a damn difference. If not, he might be a step up in terms of like just overall talent, like what he has. But then you get into the finer, more groomed aspects of the game where you have a guy like Bryce Young and CJ Stroud who've been playing in systems, operating within those systems, and to Clint's point, stacking great performances week in, week out, and building confidence in what they're doing and how they're seeing things and how they're executing things. Yes, this kid needs to keep doing that if you're going to talk about Heisman and all this stuff. But I mean, if we're just talking like raw potential talent, he's there. Now it's on Billy Napier and that offensive staff to continue to put him in situations to be successful and build that confidence.
Yeah, hey, real quick. I mean, heck, like if we're talking about going to the next level, and I mean, it's just so difficult to talk about quarterbacks and quarterback play in such a vacuum, right?
Yeah.
Like for me, if I'm talking about an NFL caliber quarterback right now, who do I think can step on the NFL field and play tomorrow and win ball games? I'm going Bryce Young and I'm going Will Levis. Right? If I'm talking about
I'm gonna throw a curveball at you. I'm taking the kid at Purdue, Aiden O'Connell. If you ain't watched him, watch him, bro.
Wow.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah.
I'll take your word.
But no,
for it.
I agree with you too, though. Like I totally agree. There's a different level of understanding, grasp, plug and play of the game.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. It's development, but not physically. It's development mentally, and then bringing the physical tools along with that.
Yeah. I mean, look, if I'm plugging somebody into a Kubiak system where it's a lot of play action, then I'll take Anthony Richardson all day long. If I'm plugging a guy into Sean McVay, who's playing right now, into his system, then I need me a Will Levis or I need me a Bryce Young type of dude that knows how to distribute the football, right? If I'm plugging it into a system where I'm going to use my quarterback run some, not a lot, but I need a big arm and I got time to develop a guy, then I'm going to go get CJ Stroud. I mean, it's just there's so many different
flavors, man.
Yeah, man.
It's like what's going to fit and what's going to fit with the offensive philosophy. And that's why when you talk about drafting kids, and this is a whole nother conversation, but it's a fit and it's what you see and what you can develop internally in-house. Right. And I think that's why it's big to get that development at the college level and the well-roundedness, because then you can just say, hey, listen, man, I can step in and do whatever you need me to do. But you got to be developed.
I like the analogy to flavors. And all I'm trying to just interject slightly, just a tad little bit here.
Go ahead.
Is that are we sure this isn't just the flavor of the month? Because let's just say hypothetically, if Cam Rising throws the ball away on second down, throws a touchdown on third down, are we sure we're still featuring this new flavor right next to the chocolate, the vanilla, the strawberry? Are we sure we're going there without his defense making a huge play? I see it just like you guys do. I want to see it one more week. That's all I'm saying before we really get there.